It's late, but doesn't mean don't get to skip. Wait a minute. Doesn't mean I get to skip. Oi, 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 oi. A lot of PT, a lot of all the good stuff today. Talk about the PT real quick. We're down to 2 a week on the arm. It used to be 3, now we're doing 2. Next week's going to be full strength building PT. The goal is to be able to curl 50 pounds as like I used to be able to. They've actually taken that note down. I find that kind of funny. And my whole they were like, what's your goal for the PT when I started it? And I was like, well, I'd like to be able to lift weights like I used to, and having lost a lot of weight when I over the past 2 years lost like 100 pounds, and after that working out, I just saw a lot of benefit in, like, instead of having a weird like flappy sloppy body when I would work out, I would like start to have some muscles instead of pure flappy dappy. So I was like, yeah, I'd like to be able to like get back to doing that and see some improvement. It's all like so late in life, but it's not like I'm gonna die tomorrow. But Jesus, what if I was doing it when I was 35? That'd be great. What are you gonna do? Things happen. I discussed why I did it in the previous videos. So, and then we do all these intense workouts. So now we're up to like 7 pounds on the wrist weights and 7 pounds on the behind the back exercise, where I'm like planking and putting my arms up behind my back and clenching my shoulders together while keeping my face down and shrugging. It's the craziest. It's so simple, but getting your form right on it is like super hard. I find it super hard. We're also moving into a wound PT, although wound is technically for like a fresh cut or a big wound at any moment, as opposed to my scar or incision site or whatever you want to call it. As soon as we're done with these, I'll show off where that's at. It's not gonna, it's funny. It's because of the scratching and redness from Monday has gone down. It actually, to my eyes, looks incredibly better than it did even 2 days ago. So we'll show that off. So yeah, we're moving into these little PT things where we're doing exercises, massaging the scar for 5 minutes a day in an attempt to break up the formation of the scar tissue into something more normal looking. She's like, you could always just not do it and you could have a big gnarly scar. And I'm like, well, chicks dig scars, but I already got a chick. So might as well like see what we can do to make it look okay. It'll still always just be a big like recovered scar. So yeah, but it doesn't need to be a big gnarly puffy bastard. Surprising to my mom that they do that. She's like, oh, they do PT for like scars, and I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I didn't really know it was a thing. That interesting when after 45 years of being a registered nurse at a variety of positions, she hears something she hasn't heard. So that's cool. You're pretty good. Give it a shot. Get right up to the camera. Way better than it was before. Let's do our forearm supination P-ROM. Let's see. Still waiting on clearance to post the video I discussed previously. I hope Cray approves when he listens to it and reviews it. I've had people listen to it and check it out, and I don't think there'll be any trouble posting it. Even as an unlisted video, it has a copyright claim in that it can't be monetized. There's levels to claims. So this kind of claim just means that if I was monetizing, I wouldn't get any money. They would get money. Vaguely the kind of thing that if I was monetizing, I'd have to think about fighting it, because it's not that it isn't that guy's property, but we are indeed playing it and talking about it. We play a 4-minute video and discuss aspects of it for 90 minutes. So I don't know how much of his video counts it being in there. It's like no one's gonna listen to our copy of his video because they want to listen to the video, the song. They're not gonna be like, oh cool, like a copy of the song here that I don't have to give him a hit or whatever, honestly, if people came and saw it, it would probably just drive more hits to our site than it would ever be worth right now as monetary. But yeah, if I was trying to be principled about it, it's like, well, it's there. The song is there for the critique, not for the song. I don't know. Might be something I ping CD on and see if he would chime in, or if we should get him in here for one of these. Have him on the phone. I don't know what I would put up for a picture of him though. That's a good question. I have pictures of him, but I wouldn't want to necessarily do that to him. He has a professional life that if we randomly talk about NDA things, he might get in trouble. We put up the last Doom video, and that's had pretty good traction. I noted that the Doom series on the site had been going since late 2018. So a solid 2 years, 3 if you want to be a dick and say 2018 to 2021, 3 years or whatever. But not a lot of it was in 2018. There was like 2 episodes recorded, and then a couple more in 2019, and then really the lion's share in 2020. I don't remember it having been going on that long. It might explain why Andy's like, yeah, we're done. We can do something else. I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. I guess it's really been going on. You barely count this year. It ended in January of this year. So maybe, it's very much a safe, like it took us 2 years thing. It was just surprising to me to see that. Hadn't thought of it in that way. Maybe because the lion's share of it has been in the last year or so. I was asking the gal if I was doing this correctly because when I'm doing it like this, sometimes it's like this instead of like straight. And she's like, it doesn't matter. I was like, oh, interesting. She's like, yeah, I mean, keep it straight, but you get the benefits we're looking for by just doing it, even if it's not perfectly aligned. I think I'm like double counting. It's weird. I'm like, I'm hitting 10 already. There's no way. The workouts are like way more intense as they're stepping up, getting ready for full workouts. And, I've been asking for it. So fair enough. One of these is one I've been doing like this, but really, if you have a weight, they want you to do it like this. But in the video, it's like you hold a can and do it. But when I'm there, we do it like this. I'll do that off screen here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of wish I had like a button that it like when I rotate it, beep, beep, and you get all the way up to 10. Been playing Capcom Ultimate LNS All Stars, something like that. Capcom All Stars LNS. It has LNS. It's Ultimate. It's a fan made thing. It's impressive the amount of characters they've crammed into it. It uses BORS. I think it's called Open Bores or something like that. Like an open source fighting engine for fan made games. It's a fully playable, functional game. They have some really hardcore ideas about difficulty. I watched Anthropants, who's a friend of the site. We did a few years back. He challenged us to play through a co-op of Bare Knuckle 2, Streets of Rage 2. He's like, do a 1 credit clear on co-op, you know, and I was like, okay. So Andy had already played the game quite a bit in a Sega collection on like Xbox 360. But I had always sort of shied away from the game until I saw a really interesting series of events. I saw a speed run done with the fastest character and the strongest character. I mean, like the grappler and the fast character. Skate and Max. And it was like purported to be like a tool assisted speed run that, you know, like this is the fastest in the world. And then as a co-op run. So the thing I ran into was then, I think it was Anthopants, posted a video of him beating the game, playing it, no tool assist, in faster time than like 45 minutes to 44, 43, you know, like a good minute faster than a tool assisted run. Yeah, because he knew the game, like in and out, and could play it at a speed that even the tool assisted guys weren't like thinking at when they're efficiently doing things, but they didn't know how to move forward and spawn crowds and crash them into each other to kill them as fast. They were kind of killing each individual group quickly instead of like a big pile and then killing the big pile. AoE versus single target, maybe. And so he gave feedback on the tool assisted run, like, you guys could do a lot of changes here, and then you would easily beat my speed. And I prove it by beating your speed without tool assisted. So then the tool assisted run starts implementing things he's shown them how to do, and they cut it down to like 40 minutes or something. So something that's way more difficult to emulate at human levels. But the thing is, they're not equivalents. No one expects you to do a tool assisted run, but the closer you get, the more amazing it is. The tool assisted run helped the regular speed run. The regular speed run helped the tool assisted run. It's a really cool example of like the ecosystems working together. And he was playing the LNS game I was talking about, and he was like, I'm going to play it on like this Musuo mode that looks like lots of enemies, infinite lives as long as you keep getting 1-ups, you know, double bosses. It's a weird little mix of modes in the game. And he played it and he just got smashed like on the first boss or something. And well, yeah, this fucking LNS game is outrageous. I don't know exactly where they were going with it for difficulty. They got easy mode. You get, you know, 1 life. You get these continues. You get 10 continues. You get 1 life. You get extra lives at points. You get life pickups in the stages and stuff. I was playing through it with Andy, and at the end, I had a few lives left, and he had just run out of lives, and we just barely beat it. And it's just dumb luck because he's practicing different characters, and I was sticking with my guy. So, like, we're not blaming his skill here at all. It was nuts. Then I played through it again 4 times, maybe. Each time you beat it, you get more characters. It has a ton of characters. It starts with maybe 6, but I think it ends up with over 60 characters. It's nuts. You get the whole Street Fighter 2 cast. You get a whole bunch of people from Alpha. You get people from all the beat 'em ups that are Capcom beat 'em ups, like Captain Commando and stuff. But the jump from easy to normal is like no continues, 1 life, 2 1-ups. It goes from like 10 continues, 1-ups at staggered intervals to like fuck you. It's practically like it will always be a 1 credit run. I almost certain they screwed something up there. It was still supposed to have 10 continues. I'm not sure. After playing through easy like 4 or 5 times and playing through the boss rush, I played through normal and got to Sagat. You have to beat Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and Bison. That's the end of the game. I already see a problem there where like on easy mode, if you get to the places I'm talking about, if you get to M. Bison without continuing, and the game also has a save and continue, and that counts as a continue. If you get to M. Bison without continuing, you have to beat Akuma as a bonus boss instead. And of course, he's harder then it's the beat 'em up. So he's harder, but he's not. Honestly, maybe M Bison's harder. Anyway, getting caught up. Fight the secret hidden boss, and then play at least 2 more levels with more bosses. Uh, it's just a huge, and I think it's inherent to that difficulty that if you sit down and play straight through it without using checkpoints and coming back and picking it up, you're gonna have to fight those extra stages with no continues, a very limited amount of lives. But I still got all the way to Sagat on my first stab at it, which is pretty goddamn good. Like I was like, well, I have really picked up this game. It doesn't really play like a Capcom beat 'em up. Anyway, I say all this because I might end up putting a playthrough on easy, talking about the differences of the game, give tips to people, because I don't know how much video is out there about the game, and the little teeny bit of forum talk I see is like, this game's too fucking hard, I can't even beat it on easy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. If they didn't make a mistake, then that's fine. They can be like, no, people will get this good eventually or whatever. All right, but holy crap. I don't know that people have the time in their lives anymore. There's so many games and so much shit that it's tough to say you've tweaked your game up that high. Plus, maybe I talk about it more in the video, but I think the approach to difficulty is inverted. Reward the achievements of like getting and beating the game on a single credit or with less lives lost or whatever. Don't restrict the playthrough to those standards. Instead, when you beat it, give the reward commensurate with it. And then you can like tier it out and stuff. But they could still have their Musuo mode, which is the mode where you have tons of enemies and stuff I was talking about. So I'll put up a video. Maybe get Andy in on it. It's actually a 4-player game, but it's 4-player local co-op. It's kind of hard with the pandemic going on. Maybe something like what is it called, light speed or whatever. I'm blanking on it. Warp speed. There's a thing out there, parsec, that you can use for like remote local, like give people remote control locally to play games on co-op and stuff. But this is 5 minutes of me yammering about a fan-made game on that I may or may not post a video. So I might post a video. Don't know if it would go up tomorrow. I've got some family stuff to do, but maybe Friday I'll record it and post it. But in the meantime, I put up some Halo from Cray, and Cray, get back to me about if we're gonna play, what we're gonna play. If we're gonna post that video as well. All right, guys, talk to you later.